Hello everyone, happy and blessed Sabbath to each and every one of you. I pray that wherever you're at in this world, that you are continuing to walk in the faith and becoming that new creature in Christ, dying daily, overcoming sin, fighting against the dragon and his three unclean spirits, and doing all that you can to connect yourself with heaven, because Jesus is not too far from us, brethren. He is always there, even unto the end of the world. And so let us continue to take hold of His truth in understanding the biblical principles and the message that we will be giving today, which is very important. All of our messages have always been about coming out of Babylon, because that's the 3 and the 4th angel's message uniting to come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins. And it is this message today where we're in the season of harvest, where we have the 3 angels' message being proclaimed and uniting with the 4th, which is reaping this world through the messages that have been sown in the earth. And while they are being sown in the earth, many are coming forth, 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. So many blessings taking, part in their life. And they're producing so much. And we know that in this harvest message, there's so many things, that take place. Like what we've been seeing over the years, and the shaking and all these things, and being brought on the threshing floor to be tested, to be brought into the church, to see, what you're building your life upon. Is it on the sinking sand, or you're building your house on the strong, firm foundation that Christ has given to us in His word of truth? And if we're putting the hedges around us that are there to protect the flock in the church, let us to continue to understand what these purposes are, and why these hedges are there, and why all these things are happening, and why we are governed as Christians. We're not like Satan and his hosts, where they just go off and do what they want, and mingle with who they want, and unite with who they want, and friends with everybody who they want, and showing no biblical true love, for the Creator in heaven, in our separation from those that have united with Babylon in principles and understanding and believing what they say is right, but we know it's foolishness with God. And the deceptions that come from these agents are just so horrible. And the list just goes on and on and on that we learn through these educational systems, whether it's from the TV or the schools, or at your workplace, or wherever you may be. You just see so much of it in this world, because it's a Babylonian world right now, but it'll be shut down. And while we're in this Babylonian system, we're not of it, but we're in it, trying to help with the 3 angels' message uniting with the 4th. We have a hedge about us, which is there, and we'll talk more next week, that it is there to protect us. And of course, you'll have accusatory people and the accuser of the brethren proclaiming that the church and the ministers and the workers of it, or whatever, are dictators and what have you. And it just goes on and on and on. And they're self-deceived, and whatever's going on in their life behind closed doors, or in their heart or their mind, it's obvious that by their works, and their lies, and what they tell other people, and trying to convince them, and claiming that they're not sowing division or discord or all that other stuff. It's confusion. And you shall know them by their fruits. It's not judging them and condemning them and saying they're going to hell and stuff like that, but we have every right to judge by their fruits. We shall know them and understand. And so when we take a look at Revelation chapter 14, verse 14 and 15, where we'll begin, it says, "And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the white cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle." Verse 15, "And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And the only way the earth can have a harvest is by us uniting with the truth in the loud cry message, where the third and the fourth angels are coming together and harvesting souls, because the message that has been proclaimed by the remnant of her seed, not by Laodicea, which is there promoting worldliness, and the message which is falsehoods. It's a lie. That's why she's a daughter of Babylon. She is a Laodicean, spewed out by God, knocking on their door, knocking on the members' doors of their heart to come out of her and to be not partakers of Laodicea, and to flee from their horrible, wretched condition that they are in, where they have need of nothing, but yet they're wretched, miserable, poor, blind, naked, and destitute of the absolute truth, because they have chosen to cling and to stand in the ways of Babylon, and uplifting whatever it is in Babylon that they love so much. Worldliness is going to be wiped out. You're either of this world or you're of God. We're in this world to proclaim the truth, and we're to unite together, having one mind, with the three and the fourth angel's message in heaven, the three most highest powers that are working against the three unclean spirits that come out of the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet, who are working together, performing their miracles and lying wonders, where it's all trickery and sorcery to deceive, to try to deceive even the elect. But they will take everyone who is not truly grounded on the principles and the foundation of God, and having that hedge round about them, which is there to protect them and to guide them and to keep them safe. But yet we know many will accuse and say that this is dictatorial, and that we're not trying to help and protect, but we're trying to control. And this is what Satan did in heaven. This is what Satan did in heaven, and him and his agents are continuing in this work today. And this is how, when you see such things, and you have the accusers of the brethren, which are even, again, self-deceived and thinking that they're not doing that, but they are, and by their works, if you study and understand and know what's going on, you can detect the three unclean spirits working. And this is why you are either going to go with Babylon and the three unclean spirits, or you're going to go with God and his church on this earth. Which anything that we have going on in the remnant of her seed, the 11th hour movement, where it's going to strike midnight soon and the 144,000 will be sealed. If you are not coming together with God in his truth and his people, and joining hands and edifying one another, and standing true and strong in the faith, and coming together as the one mind, the body, the machinery, as Ezekiel, tells us in chapter 1 how we're to work together. But there are going to be those that are going to fall out, because they pan more, they go more towards what they have learned in Babylon. And it's a shaking that has to take place in the mechanisms that we have going on in the temple of God, which is our connection together, ultimately working like that perfect machinery. Some are going to fall off, and it's going to have to be what? Fixed and replaced. And God will be the one to do that, where they will be shaken and sifted out, blown away in the wind, thinking of that they're so wise, and that the ways that they have learned are on top of this world. But yet it's actually foolishness. It's so much foolishness that over the years, and studying what we have been learning from NASA and the school educational systems that promote NASA and astrology and all this stuff, you'll be very surprised with things that we have been utterly deceived on. And we're going to be talking more about this later, but the truth will set us free. And it's very beautiful to know and to understand. And again, within the three angels' message, uniting with the fourth, you're going to contend. You're going to fight. You're going to cry. You're going to be persecuted. You're going to bear your own cross, because you are learning the truth and understanding it and trying to apply it and what have you. And there are going to be those who are jealous and upset, and they're just giving themselves over to the principles of Satan. And you know, many who come into the truth and then get shaken out, and then they say that they're not going back into the world, but they don't understand that this is the steps that you're taking, because those are the steps that you took to come out of the world, to come into the truth. You're just slowly backpedaling, slowly but surely going back. It doesn't happen overnight. Maybe for some people, you know, Satan is strong enough to do it, but in their weakness, they will continue to backpedal and go backwards and further and further and further, until eventually, when the mark of the beast is proclaimed and the law goes forward to worship the beast in his image, and you can't buy and sell anymore, the system that you were actually uplifting and defending is going to come down on you like lightning. And there you will be left in the valley of decision, where you will be so weak, because it had been weakening you from the day that you decided to accuse the church, to walk away, to backpedal, to have no foundation and ground to continue to be unified with the brethren of the truth. And eventually you're just gone and utterly spewed out and taken over by the three unclean spirits. And this is a hard, strong truth that we preach, and it's one that, you know, scares me, you know, so much. And this is why I keep telling everybody that in this harvest time, we've got to constantly look at ourselves and understand where we're weak, and try so hard to become strong, you know, in the truth and in the principles of God, and allowing Him to place that hedge, those hedge of angels, the message of truth and the principles of God, helping us be governed by them. And through all of that and connecting with heaven, we can stand. And heaven is a surety for us. As long as we continue in the faith and we continue to march onward and downward and putting on the armor of God and bringing up the sword and, you know, the breastplate of righteousness and the helmet and everything that we're supposed to be putting on and protecting ourselves in this battle. It is there to guard us and to keep us safe and to help us through our battles. And, you know, others who want to just take it and lay it down and put it away, tuck their tails, you know, between their legs like a bunch of scared dogs and go off into Babylon where they came from. It's not moving forward. It's not uniting with God in His church and taking the hand of the brethren. It's backpedaling, and then yoking up with those who you have known over the years, who are in unrepentant, accusatory sins, who have no grounds and foundation to be doing any such thing except for their own clinging to Satanism. And the works that they perform are just absolutely horrible. Everything that they accuse you of doing is like what it's always been. They are guilty of it. And those that proclaim to love others but yet do the works of Satan, and mistreating those who have taken care of you but yet promoting it, that we are to love and love each other and such, but yet you don't perform those works. You sit there on Facebook and you talk about love and all this stuff and everything, but it's not. It's ecumenical, and it's only towards those who haven't offended you by the truth. You've walked away from the truth, you've taken the hand of darkness, and you have backslidden. And something is going on in your life that has stopped you from receiving the truth and walking in it anymore. You're self-deceived in thinking that you are performing the works of love towards your brethren, but yet it's falsehoods. Everything that you're doing, you sit there in the public and you proclaim this and you proclaim love and you proclaim, togetherness, but yet your works do not show that whatsoever. It's called delusion. Strong delusion, so that they may believe a lie and think that they are in good standings with God, but yet what they don't understand is what they have bound on earth with the church of God is bound in heaven. You want to remove your names from the church of God, wherever you may be, and accuse, and then say you're not accusing, but you are through your works and your secret conversations behind closed doors, which is seen by your works in the open through those that understand what's happening and have discernment. You are connecting with this Babylonian system, which you praise and uplift with your works. And I just pray and hope that the message of truth, the strong message of truth, will penetrate the delusions and the lies that have been given to you by the enemy of God. That you will remove yourself from the three unclean spirits. Get down on your knees and ask God for the mercy and the love to penetrate your hearts and your minds to understand what true love is. Because proclaiming that you love, but yet your works show something different, in ignoring and casting away and uniting with others you shouldn't be, is falsehoods, and it's a lie. So, brethren, please, again, wherever you may be, whatever church, remnant church, 11th hour seed movement that is separated from apostasy and the Babylonian Empire, and the mother of harlots and her daughters that are performing the same type of works in uniting with the world, but yet proclaiming that they have the truth. Wherever you may be in this world, if you hear this message, I pray that it'll penetrate your heart and that you will know and understand that God loves you and He is calling you to the truth that you're to be connecting with, and separate from the evil works of Satan and where he's taking you back to. Keep fighting, brethren. Examine, examine, examine. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask, am I found in the faith? Is what I'm doing today preparing me for heaven, or am I clinging to the things that will not allow me to enter into heaven? May God bless you all and have the power to contend and strive for the faith. And I'll see you next time. God bless.